Hello, everybody. It's Dr. Matthew Johnson and
Cynthia Kreitzberg.
And we are on our second morning testimonial time for our June 2019 Night Sit Sleepover event. And we had a second night of some pretty awesome stuff.
Definitely. The weather cooperated. The Xanue were here in force, and it was a very special evening.
And we not only have Seska and Nipkia from SOA who are going to be visiting this summer, but last night Zorth showed up, and that's pretty cool. And he said that he's going to be here for every event. So we got 2 more events going on, July and August, and it'll be cool that he'll be dropping by to say hello. So with that, I am going to skip around to testimonial time. Yay! Hello.
Hi. Vicki from Goshen, Indiana. Last night I saw a lot of shadows. I think I saw some orbs going on, and was really tickled that Zorth stopped by, so we could mind speak to all the Xanue and say whatever we felt. So of course there was lots of love in the air, and I think it's just been a great weekend, getting to know people and getting to know more Xanue.
Awesome. Thank you, Vicki. Armani! Wait, where are you from?
Oh, yeah. Armani from Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay.
And last night there wasn't a lot of activity over there at 3 o'clock on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
But we did have a little bit of lights, and we did hear some footsteps. But then when me and my grandpa went to go by the wood pile, at the end, towards the end, when we were leaving, we got touched, and it was like a little tingling feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And that was pretty cool. And then when we went to bed, I stayed up for a little bit longer, and then I heard some footsteps and stuff like that, and
Nice.
that's pretty much it. And then, yeah, it was very awesome.
You glad you came?
Yes, very glad I came.
Good.
Awesome.
Yep. Thank you. AJ!
My name's AJ from Phoenix, Arizona. And yesterday I was pretty tired. I went to bed early, but I did see a few lights, and then I did hear a few things. That's pretty much about it. Not too much for me. But that's because I was tired.
You heard a few things like,
I don't really know what it was. I don't know if I was hearing, because I know there was coyotes people were saying, but I did hear like a few yells.
okay.
I'm not sure.
Was that like a squirrel yelling or?
No, it was much farther, so I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be able to hear like a squirrel. Yeah.
It was pretty loud, yeah?
Pretty loud, yeah.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Okay. Thank you, AJ.
Stewart Barger from Royal City, Washington. I went down for the night sit kind of early. I think it was earlier than Matt and Cynthia and everybody came down, but a few people were there. I turned my phone on and got about 30 seconds of video of an orb popping, just flashing, and then it moved up the tree. So I moved my phone up, but it looks like it went down on the video, and then it flashed a few times, and then it went up again. And I'm narrating, so you'll hear that. I'm a little loud on the audio, but anyway, that was the first thing that I had happen. And then it popped really fast at the end. And I didn't really see too much after that. And then when I went to bed, I slept great, but just after 3:04, 3:05, woke up, and then it sounded like every Xanue that was on the property just started, and it sustained, and it just started fading away. It just went away from me. And I was digging for my phone, and I got like 7 seconds of audio, and it's very faint, but I don't know if we can amplify it. I'll try and put it through my home studio and amplify it. Maybe we can hear a little bit of that, but anyway, that was about it for me, other than some strange things that happened yesterday with a piece of gum and some fingerprints inside my pickup window, some smears and little tiny fingerprints, and we think it's a bow tree.
Didn't the rearview mirror get tilted
Yeah,
up
the
too?
rearview mirror was up. When I was sitting there, I could see the top of my window, and you know, I gotta be able to see out, but
It was smaller handprint,
oh, it was tiny.
smaller than your hand, smaller
Oh,
than
yes.
Matt's hand. Yeah.
Yeah, Matt said it's Matt's hand, but it wasn't.
No, no, it was about half the size of his hand. Yes. Yeah.
It was very tiny, and it smeared down the window and stopped, and there's fingerprints, and then it smeared again.
Okay. So one last question before I go on to Matt. How do you know those whoa whatever weren't squirrels or deer or cougar or coyotes or
Well, I know what
Chipmunks.
coyotes sound like,
Yeah.
and those were not coyotes, and it was loud. I'm talking loud. I don't know why anybody else wouldn't have heard it. I think they woke me up specifically to hear that, and I don't know what it was for. You know, was it saying goodbye to Zorth? They were all just, ah! I don't know. It was crazy sounding, but I loved it. So
okay.
I love all you guys. I thank you for letting us come here. I'm going to come back again.
Okay. Thank you, Matt. This guy right here has a cool name.
So does that guy.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I'm Matt. I'm Stewart's son. I'm from Central Washington. Last night was an emotional roller coaster. I mean, what I was shown and what I seen was nothing short of amazing. I went down to the woodpile, and I had a moment with the Xanue, and I prayed with them, and I felt like I came here because there was something I needed to do. And I went down to that woodpile, and I said what I needed to say. I did what I needed to do, and they gave me my confirmation last night. After I had done all that and I had said my piece and stuff, I had seen just this two immense red sources of light off to the left down by the trail, and they looked to me like they were like the guardians, and they were walking in tandem, and I mean, you could just feel it, you know. I mean, it was just love, and it was just so amazing, and I'm never gonna forget that. But and then later on, when I was down at my cot, when I was laying there, I could feel someone underneath my cot, and they kept like pushing me up a little bit. And it, you know, and then my stomach area, this whole area, started to get extremely warm. I just felt extremely warm. Like, I don't know if it was two giant hands or if it was, I don't know. I didn't feel any pressure, but I just felt warmth. And later on that night, I was woken up because, to me, like you hear Chatty Cathy on the recordings, it sounded like when you get a room full of people together and the noise just goes up. It sounded like there was all of them down there just talking, like Chatty Cathy. But I mean, there's so many things that I experienced, you know, last night and this whole entire trip, and it's just been amazing. I believe that when I seen the two guardians, that was when Zorth showed up, and I was actually able to, when I asked Dr. J to go down to the woodpile with me, and he told me, you know, Zorth is right in front of us, in front of him, 10 foot out, and he's bigger than the ones that are standing right up close. And I was actually able to talk with Zorth through Dr. J, and he let me know some pretty, I don't know, personal stuff, I guess you'd say, with my mother, and her conditioning and them healing her. I won't go into detail about that, but yeah, I mean, it was just amazing. I really feel, and I asked Dr. J this morning if what I saw down to the left was that Zorth showing up, and Zorth answered yes. So,
With Mogdu, by the way, with his oldest son.
with Mognu.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep. Hey, Dave.
Hello, hi, I'm Dave Cameron from Phoenix, Arizona. This trip was really special for us. I brought my two grandsons up with me. We wanted to be introduced to the Xanue and have experiences, and we had nothing less than that. We all had experiences and were touched. Last night wasn't quite as eventful as the previous night, but we did have experiences just the same. On the 3 o'clock, it was very, very active the previous night, but last night they were there. They came, but they were kind of reluctant to approach us, but we could still see and know that they were there. So we kind of backed off and just gave them the space for the little ones. And then me and Armani, one of my grandsons, walked down to the woodpile. We talked for a little bit, and we both got touched on the hands and up the arms with the tingling and spiderweb feeling. It was just amazing. And before I left, I felt something tap my head, pressure on my head. I thought it was a tree branch up there, but there was no tree branch up there. So it was either a pat or a pet. I'm not sure what it was, but I thought that was awesome. After that, we kind of all got tired and just went to bed, and that was pretty much it for the night. But it was all awesome.
Good.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello, I'm Cheryl from Longview, Washington. I am and will be a repeat offender. I've had a wonderful weekend, lots of activity. As far as last night, the second night goes, I did want to go down to the woodpile. The Cantu and his family were down there. Zorth had not been down there yet. I asked Stewart to walk me down there. I'm not able to see very well and it's a little steep. So we went down to the woodpile and I said my piece of what I wanted to say to them. And I really had a hard time seeing, so we did ask, is there any way that you could help us see you better? And lo and behold, the orb showed up right in front of us. And I had asked if I could also be touched. I had my hand out, and within a few seconds, my hand started tingling, and it was very, very warm. My hand just started heating up. And I'm like, wow, I was just so touched about the experience. And Stewart played his song that he had wrote for the Xanue, and that was amazing. And it was just to be there and to interact in a touch and a feeling. And it was just incredible. I will never forget it. I've had a wonderful weekend with everyone. It is lots of love here, and I would just recommend it to whoever would like to experience something, to please come out and share. This is a wonderful group of people, lots of love, and I will be back.
Thank you. And we look forward to having you back. Alicia.
I'm Alicia Watson from Medford, Oregon, and I will be coming back definitely one time a season. I wish I could come every single time. The Saturday night, of course, I saw all the twinkles and everything for the very first time in the 3 o'clock position. And I think I saw a few of them early when we first got down there, and it was just getting dark. And then I just sat in my chair, and I would see a twinkle here and there, and I just got tired, and so I went to bed and just did a lot of praying and talking to the Xanue, talking to God to ask to break down my wall, to take in the perfect love of our spiritual being. And I'm so grateful that you have this going on, and for your being willing to do this, and to get to meet Zorth, and it's just amazing. Anyways, I'll see you again next year for sure.
Yay. And thank you very much for the cat tree up there.
Very welcome.
Hello.
You doing me?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I'm Karen from Rainier, Washington, and I missed the first night. I had a previous engagement. But last night I went down and I heard all the wonderful stories about what everybody had on Saturday night. And I have a lot of things I want to communicate with the Xanue, so I'm chatting away. I've never really gotten a response for sure, but I believe they hear me, so I talk to them all the time. And I got the feeling, because I wasn't seeing a lot of lights, I thought, you know what, you guys, let's just shine our light. You guys kick up your light, I'm gonna kick up my light, and let's just bring a lot of light here. And I've been trained to give a Christ blessing, so I stood up and did the Christ blessing. And at the end of it, it's a real beaming of love and light. And it was a wonderful experience for me. And I've seen on the film that there's some on the film. So I'm very excited to share that with you guys.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi, you to me?
Yes.
I'm Teresa from Springfield, Oregon, and it was not quite as active last night. We went over to the 3 o'clock trail, and Tracy took me down the 3 o'clock hill, and we stood there and we put our hands out, asking them to be touched, and our hands started glowing a little bit, and mostly it was tingling and a feeling of warmth, and there was just a real calm feeling. And then we moved our chairs over towards the wood pile because somebody announced that Zorth was here. But we saw a little bit of twinkle lights and not too much else. I have a picture that I took of the moon, and I have some red in flashes in there, and we're going to investigate that a little more. But yeah, it was nice. I love this area and your hospitality and the people, and I'm a repeat offender.
Yay.
I'm coming back in August.
Awesome. Thank you. Hello.
My name is Amy, and I'm from Daphne, Alabama. I had a lot of experience the first night. Sadly, not so much. Last night, I did catch a little bit of twinkling here and there. Thought I was feeling some sensory type stuff, maybe. Probably, I would say, I don't remember the time when I looked at my watch, because I'm bad about watching the time on when things happen. But I would say it was in the 3 o'clock hour, and it was near the 3 o'clock trail. So I don't know what I felt over there, but I took 2 pictures, and they were black, obviously. So I'm hoping to be able to send those to you guys and let you see if y'all see anything in there, because I cannot. Other than that, I was really tired from the night before and all the stuff that had happened the night before, so I kind of just went to sleep and got a good night's rest, and I've really enjoyed everyone here, this whole experience. I feel like I came out for exactly what I came out for, to experience, learn, and grow, and I've done exactly that. And I thank everybody. You guys are awesome.
Thank you, Amy.
Mm-hmm.
Jim.
Yep. Hi.
Hi.
I'm Jim Fiddler from Goshen, Indiana. And last night I saw a lot of lights, and mostly red. And when Dr. J said that Zorth was standing out there in front of us, the only thing I could see was a section of red like this. And I couldn't see the whole body. And I was wishing I could. Not trained that well yet to be able to see well. And once again, last night, they must have worked on me, because I got up pain-free this morning, was able to get up out of bed and not have to go through a routine of trying to get everything unkinked. And
you walked without your cane this morning?
Yes, and I walked without it this morning.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so, yes.
Awesome.
All done.
Thank you, Jim.
Hi.
Hello.
My name is Natasha Sesko. I'm from Washington State. Last night, I wasn't know what to expecting, so I just follow everybody else. We got so many wonderful people here, they help me. So I went to the 3 o'clock places. I found with the AJ and AC and David, everybody else went down there. So we didn't see that much lights, a little bit, you know. Then I said, a lady, I think it's Jill sitting on the front. She'll say, I said, well, let's start to sing, maybe they'll come. Okay. So we started making the songs. And when I sing one after the other, and then one after the other, we keep singing. And pretty soon we saw the little light kind of approaching to us, you know. So we tried to touch it. I don't know, maybe for some reason, they don't sing like the night before, you know, that enthusiastic want to touch us, you know. So they came over a little bit and they decide they want to walk away. So we're disappointed. We still keep singing. Didn't sing it one. They want to hear us. Maybe we're not a very good singer. Maybe not. So I said, okay. And then we went back, you know, and I went back and then later on I saw some kind of, I don't know, it's a shooting star or something like that, just fly right across. You know, I don't know what I saw, but I see something. And oh, wow. I wish I could catch it, but my camera was horrible. I tried to touch it, but keep giving me all kinds of things and I get nothing, you know. So, and drive me nuts over there. So I start getting panicked. Later on, David said, hey, I can touch on the head. I said, can I go with you? And he can touch my head, you know. He said, okay. So he took me down there. So he said, reach your hand. I said, reach my hand. Hey, touch me, please. I don't know which one will touch me, you know. I mean, asking. My hair is so long and so tired. And finally, I feel numb. You know, it's not numb. They touch me. I'm holding too long. So I think, oh, I'm going to quit. They probably don't want to touch me. So I said, okay, I quit. So I came back here. They said, maybe they will touch me later on. So I came back and rest a while. And the second time when I talked to Matt, I said, maybe Natasha, I'll take you down. Maybe they'll touch you this time, you know. So I went down the second time. He said, talk to them. So I talked to them. So, wow, I saw the face. I saw several of them, you know, over there, you know. Maybe more than one. I don't know how many over there, you know. I was so excited. I started talking to them. I thought I lost my thoughts or train of thoughts. I kept talking to them. And then pretty soon, and I asked them to help me, you know. So later on, I found out, since I get talking, you know, I think I hear them talking. And I think that they said that we're gonna talk about, we'll discuss later on. We'll let you know later. Sound like they're not gonna tell me anything now, you know. They're probably not sure who I am or what I'm doing, you know. So that's why I said, okay, I don't mind to wait, no. So either your time, maybe they don't think I'm right, it's the right time for me to connect with me or what, I don't know. But that's the feeling I get. So later on, I think, well, maybe I should quit, you know. I don't want to push them. They don't want to push me. I don't push them either. So I've given time. They've had some space. I walk slowly, step by step, one day at a time. That's what I did. I was very happy, but I was very happy when I came back. And it gave me kind of feeling, very warm feeling. That's what I get. And I wasn't that scared like there before, you know. But I saw such face, you know, over there, big ones. A little bit scared, but you know, I wasn't scared. I'm very comforted in a way. And I went back to sleep, and Matt would tell me to walk me back to where I am. When I sleep over there, and I keep slide out from my cup, you know, keep falling down, feel like. And finally, I calm myself all the way up to sleep, you know. I was very happy. And the nighttime later on, I heard a sound, like a howling sound, you know. Oh, I wasn't sure it's coyote or what, you know. I heard that. And I heard a little branch cracking. I heard that things, you know. I was very comforted. I know they're there. Maybe they're there watching me or something. I'm not sure. But I was very happy. And I wake up this morning. Ooh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hey, stop it. Okay. Stop. No, I'm so sorry. I don't mean to do this. But thank you very much. I really appreciate this trip, and I get a chance to meet all these wonderful friends. I met every one of you guys. I really, from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate you all. Tracy, Jan, Regina. I try to get everybody's name right. I almost got everybody. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. J.
Yep.
These opportunities, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Regina from Daphne, Alabama. I did not see or hear anything last night, but I went down to the woodpile. I came here mainly for more spiritual reasons. Even though I have a problem with my spine, I didn't really come for that. And I addressed Con 2 first. I guess I consider him the leader of the family who's here.
Mm-hmm.
So I had questions and just some things I wanted to say. And then I came back to where we were gonna sit. And then Amy and I went to walk a little bit on the trails. We didn't go as far as we thought we would, but because I felt like we were missing something since the main ones were up at the woodpile. So we came back sooner than we thought we would, and then that's when I learned that you had told everyone Zorth was here. So I guess I came to you to make sure it was okay if I went twice. So I went back down to the woodpile and addressed him to, pay my respects. And then I went back to lie down. I had not slept at all the night before, really. I usually don't sleep that well, but last night I slept almost all night. I woke up once at like 3, just for about 30 seconds, and then I went back to sleep. Woke up when the birds were singing around 5 or so this morning, and I feel really good this morning. So
good.
That's it.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi, I'm Jane from Northeast Ohio. And last night I started sitting in the field at the 3 o'clock position. And off to the right I kept seeing a couple, what I would say were white orbs. They're a lot bigger than the night before and more clear. And then after that I kept hearing things and seeing things and realized there were people walking on the trail. I thought, doggone it. But I heard that house alarm. I don't know if I have hearing aids, and I can't believe nobody else mentioned that, but scared the living daylights out of me. I thought there was an invasion going on. But I heard that, and I heard coyotes on the right side. Then not much happened there, so we moved up to the 12 o'clock area position. And I did see again, I saw orbs above the bushes where we were sitting. And I was tired, so I went to bed early. I think it was around midnight. And again, I sat, got my cot all set up. We crawled into the sleeping bag, and I heard footsteps surrounding me, going around. But this time there were more of them. It went around 2 or 3 times, but then I was out. Before I could even ask a question, I was out. And I woke up at 7:30 thinking it was 3.
Wow.
So I slept very well. And again, wonderful people. Thank you, Cynthia and Matt. This is wonderful. Everybody should experience this and get to know the genre.
Thank you, Jane.
You're welcome.
Hello.
I'm Tracy Bozen from Pendleton, Oregon. And I've been sitting here thinking, what am I going to say, that sort of thing. And it's very difficult to put into words the emotions and the feelings and the things, and to describe the things that happen here. I know that people view the video and probably sitting on the edge of their seat waiting for that moment when somebody says, I was sitting there and these big footsteps I hear and the trees crashing, and out on the trail jumps this big Sasquatch. And I'll tell you, my experience has been it's much more subtle than that. Last night I went down to the woodpile, and it's very difficult to explain. I don't need a confirmation, but I sure got it. I asked the Xanue I put my hands on the woodpile and asked the Xanue to touch my hands, and it wasn't like these big, huge hands were put on my hands. It was more a feeling. And I guess it's something that kind of defines this whole weekend for me. It was a really strong feeling of love and gratitude. I'm sorry. I have a lot to be thankful for, and just sitting here in this room and being with you people have really made me feel even more grateful than I have all weekend long. I went this morning to finish the story with the woodpile. My hands and my arms became so warm. Even the wood where my hands were was very, very warm. And it's almost like seeing without seeing. I can't describe it. But it's a confirmation. And I appreciate that, and I give thanks for that. This morning, I woke up bright and early, and I went for a walk down to the swamp. I had a small gift that I wanted to leave for the Xanue, and I left that close to the bottom, and I'm taking my time coming back. Again, I'm sorry if this sounds like I'm making this all about me, but the sense of gratitude and love was completely overwhelming. The birds were not just singing, the birds were singing for me. The sun was not just shining, it was shining for me. And the sense of love that these beings have without even knowing them, like a next door neighbor basically, that well. Makes me appreciate everything else that I have is just gravy and icing on the cake. But again, it's more about the feeling and the emotions than it is about a visual, absolute confirmation that a lightning bolt hits me on the head. It's not like that. And I want to express my appreciation to everybody here. Thank you for being part of my experience this weekend.
Thank you, Tracy. Brittany.
Hi.
Hi.
I don't know if I can follow that. This weekend has definitely been a very emotional weekend in a lot of ways. Even right now. So last night, like everyone said, there was a lot of a lot of cool stuff happening. Sitting in the field, I was lucky enough to see a bunch of the little twinkles and little orbs and stuff. That was really cool. But then all of a sudden, I was kind of focused on the front, really trying to just relax my eyes, and I was like, whoa, a big guy just showed up. And then, lo and behold, Matt said, Zorth just showed up. So that was pretty cool. And then last night, got a really good night's rest. There was a few things that happened, but mainly it was just a really